Yo, what's going on, everyone? Mike here, the Wholesaling Titan here. And today I want to talk to you guys about never running out of deals and specifically addressing questions about increased competition as well as shrinking inventory. Now, before we hop into it, just a quick reminder, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Turn on your notifications, helps out a great deal, and I very much appreciate it. Also, a reminder that I'm still doing weekly free one-on-one coaching calls to show you how to do your first or next deal as fast as possible. Those spaces are limited and it works on a first come, first serve basis. So if you're interested, make sure you reserve your spot ASAP. Details again in the description. So check this out, man. I was just scrolling through Facebook and I read a comment where a new wholesaler was asking for some help finding motivated seller leads. And someone comments, too many wholesalers, not enough houses. Too many wholesalers, not enough houses. Okay. So look, if you're concerned about a lack of inventory or too much competition, I'm going to give you a few tips. And before we get into that, some of the more tangible stuff, I just want to start with a few paradigm shifts. So first of all, wholesaling, yes, it has become a lot more popular now because of YouTube and social media, but being in this business for almost a decade now, the truth of the matter is a lot of people do this business part-time or they do it as kind of a hobby. Like I have seen so many fly-by-night investors that don't really treat this like a business, and many of them honestly just don't last. Like I've seen so many wholesalers just come and go. Or, maybe they start using wholesaling to build capital and then they kind of move into other things like rehabbing. And so those aren't bad things, by the way, but just kind of as an FYI, there's really a lot less wholesaling competition than you would think. My next point, to kind of build on that is like, look, every semester, I see hundreds of graduate schools with thousands of students across all 50 states. And every semester they graduate new classes of lawyers and doctors. And I don't ever hear anybody saying to, stop practicing law and stop going to medical school. And, it's just to kind of piggyback on that idea even further, it's really about observing this Pareto's principle or the 80-20 rule. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. So in this context, it's basically saying that 80% of the profits in a given market or industry, so in this case in wholesaling, is going to be shared by the top 20% of wholesalers. And then, the other 80% of wholesalers will split the bottom 20% of profits. So you really just want to focus on getting into that top 20%, which goes back to my point about, people doing this business part-time or doing it as a hobby. And, if you're just getting started, that can admittedly sound like a little bit intimidating, right? But look at it like this. Most new students that come to work with me, they're not even making, 6 figures a year yet. So with a very average wholesale deal being a conservative $10,000 in profit, that means you only need to do one deal a month for only 10 out of the 12 months of the year to get into that 6-figure income earner bracket. Just one deal a month. And that's really not that difficult to do, especially once you get your first deal or your first couple of deals done. Also, once you start doing deals consistently, you start making some money, you're going to have additional resources and additional capital to invest into your business that can help you to be more competitive and to overcome obstacles like things like high earnest money deposits that may serve as barriers to entry for new wholesalers. And, one more thing before I kind of get into my big picture idea, kind of my main point that I want to point out is that, yes, as of right now, inventory is lower than it's been, relative to recent years. But remember that, look, guys, real estate is cyclical. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. There will be buyer's markets and there will be seller markets. And as a wholesaler, there is a way to thrive in both. And there will always be wholesale deals and there will always be motivated sellers. Now, I did a recent training where I had the actual data. I don't have it in front of me right now. I'm waiting for Jay to get out of school here. But the stats are something like, it's like 1 in every 2,400 homes in the U.S. is in a state of foreclosure, some point in the foreclosure process. There's a divorce in America. I think it's like one every 13 seconds. There's a death one every I think it's about the same, like 13 seconds. It's over 7,000 people dying per day on average. During the height of our economic boom, I'm not even talking about anything COVID related. I think the stat I used was from like 2017 or something like that. There was like an average of 55,000 people fired or laid off every single day. And then you have things that happen like recessions, like natural disasters, like the COVID pandemic. And there are always factors that are going to cause homeowners to be motivated and cause houses to get to be distressed. So I just want to stress that there will always be enough deals, period. Especially, remember, for a lot of you, that's just doing one deal a month. But here's now the really amazing thing about wholesaling, and one of my absolute favorite parts of the business. And that is that wholesaling is not a zero-sum game. Meaning, if we go back to our lawyer example, right? Like if you're a lawyer and somebody else hires another attorney to represent them, well, you simply lose out on that potential client, right? But with wholesaling, I don't even look at the business in terms of competition. Instead, I'm always looking for opportunities to collaborate. So collaboration over competition. There are a lot of things that go into getting a deal. You guys know this, I'm sure, but like consistent follow-up, hitting the homeowner at the right time. That means, yes, there's some randomness. Randomness that they see your sign, that they see your mail piece, they see your online ad, marketing. You got to build a lot of rapport, like all these different things, I've had students complain to me that they see too many bandit signs from other wholesalers. And I'm thinking number one, it's highly unlikely that that's even the case, that there's too many bandit signs. But it's a sign that there is demand in your marketplace, right? You should be calling those wholesalers and asking to partner up. If another wholesaler gets a deal, it's very unlikely that they stole that deal from you. They stole it from your pocket, right? If another wholesaler has a deal, it means they already put the work in. They paid for the marketing. They paid for their employees, their VAs, their cold callers. They paid for the list, the software. They put in some sweat equity. They maybe went on an appointment. They built the rapport. They've done all these things. And now you can take advantage of another wholesaler's time, their money, their employees, their systems, their energy by simply finding a buyer. So that means you can utilize your own list, or you can be just very aggressive with the marketing of another wholesaler's deal. So post a bunch of Craigslist ads, go to Facebook groups, post ads and talk to investors, and again, vice versa, right? Do JV deals with other wholesalers who bring you buyers. And because of the nature of our business, right, there is a real need for a sense of urgency. And typically, regardless of whether you're bringing a seller or buyer to the transaction, you should go with you should go with, and other wholesalers will go with, whoever commits first or gets a buyer to commit first. And I always say it is better to have 50% of something than 100% of nothing. Better to make 50% off the efforts of like 10 different people. And in that time, you're also gonna, build up goodwill, invoke reciprocity, build up your reputation, build up your network, and eventually you'll be able to do deals simply by sending an email or sending a text message. I am very close with and regularly do joint venture deals with most of the biggest wholesalers and the primary players in my marketplace. And that's exactly what I want to encourage you to do. Again, I'm just huge on the concept of relationship building. So if you're subscribing to the mentality, right, that it's too competitive or that there isn't enough inventory, that's really nothing more than a limiting belief and having a scarcity mindset. There are still plenty of opportunities to do deals. I mean, look, nowadays you can even do deals virtually. So look, if you guys have questions or you want me to dive a little bit deeper into the topic, the school line is moving, please let me know down in the comments, all right? And let me know, what other topics would you guys like me to talk about or want me to answer in future videos? And again, another reminder, if you feel like you are spinning your wheels right now, if something's not working for whatever reason, do use that link in the description. Jump on a free one-on-one call with me, and rather than spending, the next 6 months trying to figure this stuff out on your own, I can help you to diagnose your issues and give you some real tangible, actionable, and like personalized advice on how to make this work for you. And I'm happy to do that and show you how you can do your next deal as fast as possible. Again, I only do a couple of these. I have a couple of spots per week, so they are limited, first come, first served kind of thing. So click that link in the description to reserve your spot as soon as possible. Also, I got some other links down there for some just really helpful resources. Make sure you join my free Facebook group where you can ask questions, interact with other wholesalers, stuff like that. I got some links to training videos that aren't on YouTube, some webinar stuff, free downloads, some ebooks, all that good stuff. So definitely go check it out. There's some good resources for you down in the description there. And other than that, thank you guys again for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Can't talk. Please do hit the subscribe button, bell notifications, so you don't miss out on new videos. And I will see you on the next one. All right, take care, guys, and I'll talk soon.